everybody, I'm Eric the Counselor.
And I'm Des Perry.
This is a lifestyle show
About improving your mental health.
You ready?
Let's experience mental health.
All right, so what's up, everybody? I am Eric the Counselor, and welcome to today's edition of
What's going on, everybody? Look, you wasn't done. You wasn't done. It doesn't matter because I just went ahead and just cut you off like that. Des Perry, co-host of Experience Mental Health. All right, what was you trying to say, Eric? What was you trying to say?
I just want to finish what I had to say. Good Lord.
It's the same thing every episode. Welcome to another Experience Mental Health.
Anyways, welcome, guys. We are here. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Back in it. You know, last week we had a heavy discussion. We were talking about grief.
Yeah.
I know there were some things that went on in Nashville. Some people lost their lives, and there was a big thing in the city. And we just wanted to address it and try to talk about how to kind of, cope with like tragedy, immediate loss. And I think that show has struck a chord with some people hitting
for
me
sure,
up,
most definitely.
just thanking us for doing that show.
Yeah.
But today we got another show lined up, but we're going to hear from the young generation.
Young. What is it? Generation Z?
Gen Z.
They be so proud of that too. Oh goodness. That's like, is this the last generation?
Yes.
Ain't nothing after Z. Ain't nothing after Z.
I know. I was thinking about that too. Like, what we start over? Is it Gen A now? Like, what's next?
It's gonna be double A, like AA.
No clue.
That don't work.
It doesn't work. It does not work like that.
Maybe A squared. A squared sounds better than double A. No.
But listen, before we get into today's show, I do want to say big shout out to Great Convo Media. We are happy to be a part of the GCM family. Go to greatconvo.com and check out all the shows and subscribe to all the shows, because that is the place where, podcasters are producing culturally relevant podcasts.
And it's where the chatter matters. Come on now. You got to say that, Eric. It's where the chatter matters.
The chatter matters. So big shout out to Great Convo Media. Hey, we really appreciate all of our subscribers on our YouTube channel. It's like a slow growth. But the thing about it is everybody that's there wants to be there. And that's the thing that we appreciate the most. All of our listeners in the text club, we appreciate you guys being with us for so long. And everybody listening to us on Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you hear this show, wherever you are in the world, we want to thank you for tuning in to, I think, one of the most fun and entertaining.
Come on now. Let them know.
Podcasts.
Let them know.
Out there.
Yeah. I definitely agree. It's because again, one thing that I feel like we're preaching every week, we trying to break that stigma around mental health and, trying to switch up the narrative and, bring a more positive life to mental health, experiencing mental health. So, hey, as long as we doing that and y'all loving it, we loving it, you loving it. I'm loving it, like McDonald's and them.
I'm loving it. Hey, I also want to say thank you for everybody who came to our Experiencing Mental Health for Black Men event. It was great. We had a great conversation. You can also be sure to check that out on our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com, put in Experience Mental Health and check out. That was our third installment of Experiencing Mental Health for Black Men. Is one that you don't want to miss. We talked about incarceration and the impact of being incarcerated, like the mental health impact. And there was a lot of good things that were said. So I think you guys should check that out. Today, let's kick off today's show, Des.
Right. Let them know. Hold on. I heard you got family on the show today.
I got family on the show today.
This your first family member on the show. I want to point that out.
Is it my first family?
Is it? I don't believe. Oh, what? Hold on. Now we had
BJ, my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
But we didn't even get to drop that show because it was all messed up. So we got to do that again.
Right.
But yes, this is family today. This is my oldest niece.
Okay, oldest niece.
Oldest niece, Thailiyah Williams. She goes by Ty. She wanted to come on the show and represent for the Gen Zers of the world.
Yeah.
She's like, y'all old folks always talking about mental health. Bring in some young folks to talk about this thing.
I think it's so cool. It's so great that, that people of all ages are, tapping into mental health. And it's not just an old people thing. And I mean, I'm a millennial. Technically, Eric, you're a millennial. But even like the Generation Z, Gen Z,
young you like folks. One birthday away from being a Gen Z.
Hey.
One less year.
What I don't need right now, what I don't need to put me out on Front Street like that. I don't need.
Hey,
all
look
that
at this
energy.
though. Think about it, Des. Like I'm like the first year of the millennials, right?
Right.
You're the last year of the millennials.
I'm not the last year. I'm at the
year?
end. Nah, I think it ends in like 96. I was born in 92.
97, I think, is the beginning of Gen Z. That's what I read. 96, 97.
Yeah.
And so
Thank you, Ty. Thank
we
you.
all connected generationally. Like we all I'm at the end of the spectrum. There's you right there.
I'm right there.
End of the other of the same spectrum, and then you got Ty coming right up. Ty, Ty, you were born in 2000?
2002.
2000. So you don't even remember 9/11. You don't even remember. I can't even ask you.
I was in the womb.
I can't even ask you. Oh, okay. I guess I could say where was you at, but you don't know where you was at. You.
Hey, 2002. I know exactly where I was at. I was in college, number one.
I was in middle school. I was in middle school, 2002.
Middle school.
Fresh in 5th grade, starting out.
5th grade. So Ty, listen, we ask everybody this question.
Okay.
And we're gonna ask you, when you think about mental health, what comes to your mind?
What comes to my mind is kind of the question, well, how healthy is your mindset? You know what I mean? So let's say Gen Z point of view, if I'm doing something and I have something negative that affects me, am I going to spiral all the way down this black hole because of this minor inconvenience? Or am I able to, be healthy enough to say, okay, it's okay, brush it off, I'm fine. Does that make sense? So I always see it as, okay, well, how healthy is your mind?
So
no, it does.
Yeah. Gen Z, like, what is the talk in the Gen Z culture about mental health? Like, what's the thing? Like, is it a thing? Is it not? Or tell us about that.
So mental health definitely is a thing with Gen Z. It's definitely negative, though. It's not the brightest. I read out of 9 out of every 10 Gen Z members have experienced depression, anxiety, something like that. So definitely when it comes to my generation, we're really, really big on talking about mental health. And we even have, like, on TikTok, there are a bunch of videos of people just ranting about how they feel. And they're not famous, they're just random people. But I see them just, I had a really crappy day today. This person tried to harass me and I just ranted, like whatever.
Right.
We talk to each other, even though we don't know each other. It's a way for us to communicate rather than our parents or, whatever.
Your older uncle that's a counselor? Yeah, I got
you. No, I rather go to TikTok where people don't know who I am, and I rather just rant there, So mental health is a huge thing, but we just haven't gotten to the positive side of mental health yet, if that makes sense.
And one thing that I have noticed when it comes to the younger generations, and this is the age of social media. Social media is like a huge thing for everybody. So I mean, I can't even count myself or anybody else in my age range out because, like I said, everybody is on it. But I know for a lot of people, Gen Z, I don't even know how I address it. Like, you Gen Zers,
young folks.
people, you young Gen Z. Okay, anyways, but people that are in that generation, I don't know. I feel like this is a time where everything is you're like you're comparing yourselves to others. That anxiety that's rising because you see these Instagram models and you want to look like this, or you want to be in somebody else's position, whether say like, I don't know, you're an artist and this person got signed, you want to be signed and things like that. It's so many things that you can compare and contrast yourself to that kind of raise that anxiety and that depression.
Yeah.
Because, you feel like you're not there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, social media has definitely been a part of my life. I think I created my Instagram account when I was in 4th grade.
Oh, wow.
So I've been on social media.
Don't you gotta be 13? You gotta be 13 on Instagram.
At the time, there were no rules. Okay, that was before they started saying you gotta be 13. No, I was 9. I was 9 on Instagram posting pictures of chocolate cake or just the dumbest things.
That's crazy.
But as you start, oh my God, Taylor Swift has an Instagram, I want to follow her. And then I follow Kim K. And then that whole negative mentality kind of starts to trickle in. And you don't even realize it until it hits you, especially in your teen years. Like, like 13 hits, you're like, wait a minute, I don't look,
Mhm.
I'm not getting 2.3 million likes. I'm not,
Right.
you know what I mean? So the social media definitely has a negative impact, but also has such a positive impact on Gen Z as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's the positive side of social media for Gen Z?
the positive side of social media is seeing that we're not alone.
Mm.
So if I'm having, like I said, if I'm having a bad day, or if I went through something really crappy, I can go somewhere, I will see someone went through the same thing as me. And it's
Yeah.
almost comforting to know I'm not the only person going through this.
Yeah.
Or with Black Lives Matter, it has never been at an all-time high until
Right.
it hit especially during this pandemic. And it was most of my friends are white. And when the Black Lives Matter movement started growing, it helped them see, like, I didn't realize,
Right. What's
I didn't
happening?
know
What's really
about
going on?
privilege. I didn't, yeah, I never, and even me growing up where I did grow up, which is, predominantly white area, I learned as well, like, wow, there's some really bad things that are happening on a regular basis that we don't
Right.
hear about. So it has its positive effect. We learn a lot of things, we grow, we find new people to talk to, we find friends, there's all that good stuff. And like I said, there's a negative side where there's always going to be a negative to a positive. There's
Yeah.
never
Right.
going to be
Right.
So
50.
Ty, I'm I hear from a lot of parents, right,
Mm-hmm.
who are trying to help their children, navigate social media. What's the one thing that you would tell a parent, or maybe a few things that you would tell a parent to kind of look out for as their child is getting on social media for the first time?
Right.
I would tell them to just look out for, I guess, I don't want to say stereotypes, but like stereotypes. Because even though we're trying to break that stigma, there's still this girl with the long blonde hair is getting 2.3
Mm.
likes, 2.3 million likes, whereas the girl with naturally curly hair isn't getting that many likes, and she did the very same thing. And even though the message isn't that way, kids still learn that. I learned that, so
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have to just watch out for stereotyping. That's really like my biggest concern. Like with
Mm-hmm.
my little cousins getting on TikTok, and before that algorithm builds, on Roblox and whatever, they're gonna see all of that stuff that they probably
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have seen
Mhm.
at 8, 9, 10 years old. And I know it's not intentional. I'm sure a lot of creators don't have that intention either, but it just happens, and it creates that negative mindset.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah, it does. And then what makes me think about is, it's almost like in a time before, social media was a huge thing. Everybody in school wants to be liked and wants to be, have, I guess, a lot
yeah.
of friends.
Yeah.
And so, you're looking for that immediate, validation of, oh, they
Yeah.
like me, and, I'm doing something cool and this and that, what I'm saying? It's almost taking that same mentality of being inside the school system, of being cool, being the most popular, being the most coolest person in the school, and taking that to social media. And so I don't know. I kind of see what you're saying, addressing, your own mentality and not falling into those, those things of trying to
Traps.
Those traps. Yeah.
So I like to
Really.
say this, like, I've done some studying on like the impact of social media on a person's mental health. And I know I've mentioned this on other shows, not only on our show, but just other places, that every time you get like a like or some type of engagement, you actually get a dose of what's it called? This I said morphine.
Endorphin.
Endorphin. There you go.
Yeah,
Look at
come
that.
on now. Come on. I've been learning. I've been listening.
Endorphins.
I'll be listening.
Yes, it's like you get this dose of endorphin, which is the feel good chemical in your brain. It actually makes you feel good when you see someone has commented on a post or liked it. It actually makes you feel good. And so people get addicted to that, Ty. And your generation, and even in the millennial generation, like, people are like hooked on likes. There was even a point where you could buy likes. You could buy friends and followers and all this, and people were just having this grand sense of I'm that dude or I'm that girl, but you bought all your followers.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you did it to feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's transition a little bit, Ty. So you are a musician, You are a person, I know for a fact you've been singing your whole life. I mean, I remember when you were 2 years old singing a song, right? And I've seen you singing and dancing and performing. You are actually, I want you to tell the listeners a little bit about your background as a performer and a singer, and talk about how your creativity has helped you deal with your own mental health situations.
Okay, yeah. So I've pretty much been in the, I guess, entertainment world literally my entire life. I cheered, I was dancing, I was acting, singing, anything that I could
Okay.
just show off my talents to and make people happy, I wanted to do. And as time, went on, I started to realize, okay, I think I want to dance. I really can communicate better with my body than words, which is what kind of happens with Gen Z. We can't really say how we feel, so we can always text somebody, or we can't
Mhm.
physically say it. And
Yeah,
I just felt
yeah.
this connection to ballet. And I trained for, let's see,
Forever.
12 or 13 years. Yeah. And it was really an outlet for me, with things that I've dealt with in the past. And when it came to insecurities and X, Y, and Z, I always found myself, I just completely forgot about it, when I was dancing, until I got a little bit older and I started getting on social media. And then I saw this ballet dancer is smaller than I am. Or, you know what I mean? She can do more turns and she can do more X, Y, and Z. And so you start comparing yourself. Ballet's honestly a very toxic world, so it's not the best thing to talk about. It's not the best thing to talk
It's toxic
because
there. That was
it's
toxic.
very toxic. It's
And I
that's
only know
why.
that from like movies and TV shows, the pressure that some of these ballet dancers go under to get down to a certain weight, the
Yeah.
how hard it is on your feet, and no, I don't know. I've never personally been a ballet
You ain't
dancer.
never spent on
I've
your big
seen
toe,
it.
did
I may have did a Michael Jackson spin or two,
on
but
your
that's
big
about
toe.
it. I'd have did a spin or two, when the hardwood floor and the socks is on. I can hit
Yeah.
the spin real good. But no, I never got into it. But like again, from television, you see all the time the pressures that a lot of ballet dancers go through. So I
Mhm.
know that is like some tough stuff to,
Yeah.
How did you
endure.
deal with that, Ty? Like have always been a young person. I mean, you were training professionally for what, 4 years, I think.
Yeah. About 4 years, I got into the professional training division,
Yeah.
and it was difficult because, like you said, I was very young. I'm a Black dancer. And the dancers I was dancing with, they were like 20 years old, 20, 18, super high expectations I got into the program when I was 14. So, I was like, oh, at first I was like just brushing it off, I'm here for a reason. I can do this. But as time started to go on, I guess that whole I love dance, the insecurities took over that.
Mm.
Mm,
So, and then especially I got injured a lot,
mm.
because the training program, I wasn't physically ready for it. So I could do the moves and I was mentally ready for it, but I was breaking bones left and right. And I'm not dancing anymore because my last injury was a spine injury. So, yeah. But so honestly, even now, like when I look at dance videos, I still kind of miss dance. I'm like, oh man, like I miss that a lot, but I go back and think ballet really it's like a toxic relationship. You love this person, but you need to
Mm.
stay away from it, unless you can love that person so much, love that thing so much that you can overlook the negative and it doesn't
Wow.
affect you too much.
Mhm.
So it was like I was able to push through for so long because I loved it so much. But as it got more toxic and the bullying started and the injury started and X, Y, and Z, it just became too much.
Oh, you
So
didn't
Wow.
tell me you was getting bullied. Now I would have came up
Right.
there to the Nashville
Ah,
Ballet.
man, not
Like, hold
Uncle,
up
no,
now.
not Uncle
I didn't
Eric
tell
saving the
anybody.
days.
Well, I didn't tell anyone, which is this is a thing. In ballet, when you try to get your parents involved because something's happening, they'll just take it out on you by giving you the silent treatment. So they're not going to correct you in
Ah,
class and be like, hey, you're doing this wrong. They won't even look at you like you don't exist.
Ooh,
And
oh yeah, you
so
getting hazed at this point.
yeah, basically. Yeah, really. So
Sorority ballet. Sorority.
Look at you, man.
so it was
Yeah.
scary. And the person that was not being the nicest to me, he was like the head of everything, or the head of the program.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be like, the head of the program is being mean to me. They're not going to say anything to the, you know what I mean, to the
Yeah.
top, one of the top dogs. So it was just, I don't know.
Yeah. And so
It's difficult.
I didn't know you were dealing with all that. You had a wonderful career. I know here in Nashville, you were the first Black woman to play Clara in the Nutcracker. I was so
Yeah.
proud of you. And you had like a great look at he laughing. I'm proud of my niece. You were on this trajectory that you could have done anything you wanted to do with dancing. But like you said, at some point along the way, the love for it kind of diminished. And then I know this, you switched back really to the singing. Tell us about how you ended up back singing. You've recorded music, you're in the studio, you're working with a vocal coach. Like, you went through all that, the bullying, the toxic relationship as a dancer, getting hurt, all of that. And then you decided, nah, that's not for me. And you pivoted to music. How has that helped you?
So I got back into music after I realized I was kind of done with dance. I was like, what am I gonna do now? Like, am I gonna go to school? Am I gonna be a doctor? Like, what am I gonna do? Yeah. And I realized, even though I was dancing all these years, I was still singing. Like you said, I've been singing since I was 2, singing Shrek. I'm always singing. And I was like, I have this talent for singing as well. And I really love the entertainment. Like, I love to entertain. When Mana used to put on our little shows in the bonus room, I'm a performer. I need to be on stage.
So you was one of those childs when your mama called you in there, go do that little dance that you was doing.
Yes.
No, she was different. Ty had like whole productions planned
already set.
Yeah. I would plan these shows.
She was planning out the show
cousin. For like 2 or 3 weeks, we'd sit and choreograph the dances. Like, we were serious.
That's crazy. That's funny.
But I noticed, like I said, I've always been singing. I've never stopped singing. And so I decided, let's go into, I used to write a few songs here and there. And I play the piano. I was like, I think I can go into this music industry. It's still performing and still doing what I love. And so I'm going to give it a shot. And so music has helped me in ways that, like, I can't even explain, even if it's just not me singing personally, but just hearing other songs, especially Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Oh, she is my queen. I love her so much.
I don't even know who that is.
You gotta come on, stay up to date, Eric.
Billie Eilish.
Yes.
Billie Eilish.
Eilish.
Like eyelash, but
Okay.
Eilish.
Go look her up. Go look her up.
I'm
gonna have to look her up.
It's different, Eric. It's different, but she got some bangers.
She has really, really good songs, and they're totally out of the ordinary. But there are some songs the song she blew up on was called "I Don't Want to Be You Anymore." And when we all heard it, we thought it was about, I don't want to be like this person. I don't want to, be a negative person. But then when we saw the music video, we learned that she's actually talking about herself from like a third person point of view. And I could relate to that so much, because after dance, I fell into this really, really dark hole, and it was hard for me to climb out of it. And I'm this happy, giggly person. And I noticed I tend to put on a face, which is what all Gen Z does. We don't want people to see us as weak or whiny or X, Y, and Z, because we're always crying about something. Because if there's a minor inconvenience, I'm probably going to cry about it. But
your words, not ours. You said it.
We didn't say it. Gen Z crybabies.
We cry a lot. And some things, they're minor inconveniences, but there are a lot of heavy things that make those minor inconveniences seem so big, if that makes sense.
Right.
So like when you have all this topped on, it's like the cherry on top just breaks the dam, or you know what I mean?
Right,
it's so crazy. But that song, I was just like, that is so me, like I don't want to be this person anymore. And so I kept listening to deeper songs. I found Juice WRLD. And
Yeah. See,
love
I
his
did
music.
like Juice WRLD. I did. Eric, you know
I
Juice WRLD?
was so sad
Yeah, I
when
do.
when I saw what
I
happened.
know
I
about
was
you.
just
Right.
like,
I know. Yeah, it is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And but music has just it's like soul healing for Gen Z. I don't know. Like we like hearing that deeper, darker music and not always the
Yeah.
party music
Yeah.
really helps. It just helps us understand like we're not alone. We're not the
Yeah.
only people, or I'm not the only person in the world going through this feeling
Yeah.
of I don't understand why I'm sad, but I'm sad. You
Right.
know, like
And that was a big thing, Juice WRLD. Like in a lot of his songs, he talked about his depression in a lot of his songs. And it was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
this brother need
or
a hug.
all girls aren't the same, you know, like
Yeah.
talking about how, you know, girls are, you know, from a guy's point of view, but it goes either way, you know.
Right.
Guys
Right.
play games, girls play games.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing in my generation too. Like our culture right now sucks. It's just like hookups and one night stands and
Yeah.
then see you later. That's it.
Ain't gone. Ain't gone.
And
It's crazy.
the
Yeah.
people who do it, they don't realize it, but we're starting to learn it's affecting everybody, even if you don't participate in, or even if you feel like, yeah, that's one night stand, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yes, you do, because you felt the need to go out and get some company.
Exactly.
Just for a little bit.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
So
know,
people
so
are not just lying to others, they're lying to themselves about
mhm.
you know what it is that they need. Okay, but one thing that I did want to ask, just we're talking about the Gen Zers, how do you think you all can cause change? Can be able to kind of break some of those cycles and those stigmas?
So Gen Z with minus ourselves, which is so strange, but we are very vocal. So, like I said, Black Lives Matter movement. That whole situation started with a teenager who said, we're going to go protest after what happened with George Floyd, you know? And we all come together as a unit and use our voices together, you know?
Yeah.
So we're all about unity, you know, whether it comes to LGBTIA, sorry,
Right.
QIA.
The whole alphabet. Just go down the whole alphabet.
Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter. We don't care who you are. You're a human being at the end of the day, and we feel the need to voice for everybody. So that's how we use social media to, you know, spread from here to there. Even though I only have 800 followers, 50 people are going to see, you know, or 800 people are going to see my story, and then hopefully 200 will spread that story, and then their 800 friends will see it. That's how it spreads so quickly. People think, you know, like, oh, a little following doesn't matter. It does matter. And we all use social media so much. It's our outlet, you know? So I'm angry about what happened with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. I'm going to post about it.
Yeah.
And this person's like, oh my God, that was terrible. So I'm going to go post about it too. And that's how it happens. And we all get together and protest and march down the streets and do whatever we can. We're always trying to do everything we can to make the world a little bit better, because it sucks for us personally. So hopefully the system will change at least, you know?
Yeah.
And how old are you, Ty? 18? That's kind of good to hear you talking.
Right. Come on now. You sound like a millennial talking, girl.
Uncle moment right here.
Ew, no.
I remember Ty, she always, and I think you're still the same. You always had this thing about you didn't want to get older. You wanted to stay.
Oh no, I hate getting older.
Wait, hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you,
it ain't gonna last forever.
Hey, getting older is low key lit though. Low key lit. I don't want to be young. I thought being young was cool. It's not cool no more.
Like being
21 is not cool. You still a child. This is what
21 is cool though. I like 21.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about
21 ain't cool.
What?
21, no, you 21, you can't kick it with me.
Man, of course not now, but when you were 21.
When I was 21, yes, I thought I was grown out here, big popping bottles, all that. No.
Yeah.
I was not. No, I was struggling. I was broke. It was bad.
That's how all of us think. Like a lot of us don't want to grow up. Like we're like, this sucks. Like there's a song by Khalid, it's called 18, and he's like, because I'm 18 and I still live with my parents, they're not like yours. Like, you know, just like yes. Like I'm
telling all y'all problems.
I'm counting down the seconds until I turn 18. Like I was like, I'm not 18 until 12:14 p.m. I'm not doing it. I'm like, there, just like, no, growing up is not for me. I want to go back to the
Outside.
days where Just Dance was my number one priority.
Right.
Look, this has been fun. I want you to talk to the well, mostly, and I told you this, most people who are going to watch this and hear this, they probably have kids your age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is what would you tell to parents, to kind of look out for as it relates to their own kids?
Mhm.
Not only social media, but what would you say to a parent to kind of help their children deal with or navigate the whole mental health space?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say with your Gen Zers or below, just be really open with communication. I know a lot of Gen Z members are afraid to tell their parents they did X, Y, and Z because they feel like they're going to be judged or it's going to get some kind of negative response. Even if it is bad, don't jump the gate to make us already feel worse than we already do. A lot of Gen Z, we're pretty smart. We know when something happened. I know my 8-year-old cousin, my 5-year-old cousin, they know like that wasn't the best thing to do.
Right. You did something wrong. Uh-huh.
But if their parents snap on them, they don't want to tell. They feel the need to, okay, that wasn't, I came to you to tell you what happened. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I expect praise, but I need to know that you're open and, you're not going to judge me for X, Y, and Z. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but that really does resonate with us down the road, So I think that's my biggest thing, especially whenever I become a parent. I'm going to be really open with communication. If my kid starts engaging in sexual activities, I'm not going to bash them for it. Okay, that's what you want to do. So you need to take the right steps to make sure you're safe. You know what I mean? Because a lot of bad things can happen just from lack of communication.
Yeah. Wow. So
parents, I feel like communication is so big.
Be open. Let your kids come and talk to you. And I tell parents that all the time in counseling. When I'm counseling a young person, I tell their parents, you have to be open to hearing some of these things that I hear. Of course, a kid's not going to tell their parent everything. It's just not going to happen. Right. But some things you want to go to your parents about. And when you want to, you should be able to do that. So parents, we got to be better. We got to listen to our kids. We got to make sure that they can come to us and they feel comfortable talking to us, because what happens? They're going to talk to somebody else about it, or nobody at all. And then who knows what'll happen from there.
Right. Domino effect.
Can you do us a favor? I like putting people on the spot. Can you, you're a singer, so of course I can't have you on the show.
Sing us a song. Come on
now. Something for the people. Give us something. I mean, I know you've recorded music. You don't have to sing something that you've written, but give us a little something.
Give us a little something.
You want something new or something old? Like what do you?
Whatever you feel.
Whatever hits your spirit.
Give us a little taste of it.
Okay. Okay, I'll sing a song called All Time Low by John Bellion. Okay, I have to I'll keep it short and sweet.
Get to it.
Do that for you longer. Don't sing the whole song.
I won't sing the whole song. Okay. 6, 7, 8. I was the knight in shining armor in your movie. Would put your lips on mine and love the aftertaste, and now I'm a ghost. I call your name. You look right through me. You're the reason why I just can't concentrate. And I've been trying to fix my pride, but that thing's broken. That thing's broken, yeah. Lie, 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 lie. I try to hide, but now you know it. That I'm at an all-time low, 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 low. Low, 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 low. Low, 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 low,
I'll give you a little beatbox.
Low, low, low. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh.
Yes, sir. Clap it up for. That was
really saying. I had to let y'all know that she can really sing. Okay,
she can sing. She can
sing
up.
Well, listen, Ty, it's been great to have you on. It's cool
Thanks
for us to have
me.
this type of thing where you can be a guest on your uncle's podcast. Now I didn't say this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this to the end because I don't want you to cry. Y'all always hear me talking about my sister who passed away, but this is her child.
I am.
This is the little 2-year-old girl that was still around, when that tragedy struck my family. So she has a lot, mental health wise. But as you can see, she's developed into a young woman who has found confidence. And she's finding her lane in this world and doing what she needs to do to make herself happy. So I'm very proud of you, Ty. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So tell everybody who
fun.
might want to hear more about your music or they may want to follow you. Where can these people find you?
You can follow my Instagram. It's Ty_with_powers.
Hold up. What now?
That's too many underscores. Come on.
Ty with powers. Ty with powers.
THAI.
Yeah, like Thailand. And then my YouTube channel is Thai Time. And everything else is just under Thailiyah. So yeah, Snapchat, Twitter, all that, Facebook, all that jazz.
All right, we'll definitely tap in with you once again. Thank you so much, Ty, for coming through and being on the show, sharing your experience of mental health and explaining to us a little bit more about the Gen Zers. I'm gonna go ahead and make that an official title, the Gen Zers. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's already been done. I'm pretty sure they've already made that official.
I'm gonna get a tattoo. It's a Z on it.
Oh, just Gen a big Z. Big Z.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. We're all gonna get a big Z. Okay. It's a thing. Okay.
Well, listen, folks, it's been fun today. We are out of time. This has been another great episode of Experience Mental Health. Really glad to hear from Ty, a Gen Zer, giving out some things that we can do as parents or people who interact with Gen Z. I think the message today is to be open. Don't be so quick to judge. It's hard. I'm a parent. Ty knows she knows my kids, of course. It's hard.
Hey, your kids off the chain.
You have to be mindful. Hold on now. No, we're talking about my babies.
No, that little E boy.
Parents, you got to be mindful that you have to create a space for young people to be able to come to you. Otherwise, they'll be talking to me about what you didn't do for them. Ooh. Constantly talking about it. Trust me. I hear all the bad parenting tips. Not tips, but I hear about all the bad parenting that goes on in the world. So anyhow, that's going to be it for us today. Be sure to like our show, subscribe to it. If you are on YouTube, be sure to send a text to 31996 if you like to join our text club, where you will receive each and every episode sent directly to your phone every week when we publish it. It's been a great show. You listening, be sure to make it a great day, folks. We're out.
Peace.
Hey guys, if you really enjoyed that episode, make sure that you like and comment, as well as subscribe to the Experience Mental Health Podcast, because this is the #1 mental health podcast in the nation.